Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I thought of sharing with you some of my most favorite eyeshadow palettes. Now, I am an eyeshadow palette junkie and I love collecting eyeshadow palettes. Now, I know there are so many eyeshadow palettes out there in the market. It can be a little daunting to find out which ones would suit your needs the best. So in today's video, I'm going to show you some of the must-have eyeshadow palettes, in my opinion at least, which I think you should all have. So I'm not ranking them or it's in no particular order, but still the first one that I want to show you is probably my most favorite, at least currently, and I would highly recommend this palette, and it is the Huda Beauty Textured Rose Gold Eyeshadow Palette. This is the first one that they came up with. The second one, the Desert Dusk, I didn't really like it that much, so I'm not gonna recommend it, but this one I think is absolutely beautiful. So this is how the actual palette looks like. It has 18 eyeshadows. This top layer is kind of like the textured eyeshadows. They're very metallic. This one as well. Apart from this one, this is their usual shimmery eyeshadow. And the rest, all of these are matte. Oh, sorry, except this one. This is also shimmery. Other than that, all of these are matte eyeshadows. Now, the reason I say this is my most favorite one is because it is very versatile. It has so many matte shades. It has your crease colors, the dark black, the light matte off-white shade. It is all the basic eyeshadows that you can need to create any eye look, and with that you have this added shimmery metallic goodness which are just gorgeous. So this is $65, but unfortunately I think it's discontinued, but you can still find it in a lot of places, like Australian Sephora still has this. I'm not sure about other websites, but you can have a look and see. But if you can get your hands on it, please do. It's a must buy. And I would put the prices and all other details of these palettes down below in the description box, so please do go check that out. So the next one that I recommend is the Balm's Meet Matte Trimony palette. So this is an all matte eyeshadow. It has light shades, mid-tone crease shades, deep dark black, brown, and all of these different colors, and it also has this really nice kind of burgundy sort of a shade which I absolutely love. So I think having a matte eyeshadow palette like this is very essential, because I think you need matte eyeshadows to create any sort of eye look, no matter whether it's very simple or very gorgeous. You do need some basic matte eyeshadows, and all the palettes don't have every basic eyeshadow, so you would be missing out maybe a black or a matte brow bone shade. So having this sort of a matte eyeshadow palette is really great. You can pair this up with any other shimmery eyeshadow palettes or even the singles, and you're good to go. There are other palettes from this line from the Balm. One is called Meet Matte Nude and the other one is probably Meet Matte or something like that, I'm not sure. But out of all of them, I feel this is the best one. And the Balm eyeshadows are comparatively cheaper than the other brands that I'm about to show. And one thing, all of the eyeshadow palettes that I'm going to be showing are high-end except for one. So yeah, but that's just my personal preference. I think high-end eyeshadows are really great quality. I haven't really come across any drugstore eyeshadows which I feel can beat them. Apart from like the indie brands like Colourpop and all, that's a different story. But eyeshadow palettes, I feel the drugstore is lacking a little bit. And by the way, I'm not swatching any of these palettes, or else this video is going to be a million years long and I don't want to do that. So I just want to wrap things up as quickly as possible. The next one that I want to show you is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. This is the original one. So this is how it looks. It's a really nice neutral eyeshadow palette. This palette I think would be perfect for those of you who don't really like very bold eye makeup, or if you're just starting off with makeup and you want something very natural and simple. This palette would be perfect. You can create various eye looks with this, but they would all be very natural and neutral. But still, if you want, you can create smoky eyes with this palette and you can use it for a glamorous look as well. And an added benefit, it smells like chocolate. what more can you need from an eyeshadow palette? However, if you're not a nude lover and you love bright, bold colors, then this palette is for you. And this is the Juvia's Place Masquerade palette. This is the mini one. They also have a big one, but I feel the mini would last you forever, so you are just good to go with this. And this is how the inside of it looks. It's absolutely beautiful. The colors are so gorgeous and they are so pigmented. I don't think I've come across any eyeshadows, colorful eyeshadows especially, which are this pigmented. So if you want a colorful eyeshadow palette in your collection, please get any one, not necessarily the Masquerade palette. You can actually get any palette from Juvia's Place. They have different color combinations. So depending on your preference or what sort of colors you like to wear on your eyes, you can pick a palette from them. But trust me, the quality is just too good. Oh, and I made a mistake. I was saying all of the palettes are high-end. This is not high-end. It's very inexpensive, but this is not like a regular palette that you can get at the store. This is sold online only, so it's kind of like an indie brand. So apart from this and one other palette, everything else was actually high-end. So the next palette that I absolutely adore is this Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. So this is how this palette looks. I think it's perfect for people who love mauve or pink or magenta sort of shade on their eyes. It's absolutely stunning and it is so versatile, although this palette might seem to be a little too loud because of these shades right here. But trust me, you can create very simple and natural looks with this as well. If you just concentrate on these eyeshadows, you'll get a very simple everyday wear look. However, I personally love these shades and that's mainly the reason why I love this palette. So Anastasia eyeshadows are really great quality. In fact, all of the palettes that I've showed you are very good quality and the price I think is quite reasonable. I mean, this is a lot cheaper than the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette or the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. That one I guess is the most expensive one, but apart from that, this I think is around $40 something. But anyways, if you like those pink sort of looks, this palette would be the perfect one for you. The next one that I have, I'm not even sure if it falls in the category of a palette because it's really small, but it's this one from Natasha Denona. This is their palette number 10. So this is a palette because it has 5 eyeshadows, but these eyeshadows are very, very expensive. This palette itself, the 5-pan one, is around $40 or something. I'm not really sure. I would leave the price down below in the description box, but Natasha Denona eyeshadows are super duper expensive, but they are very good quality. And I am actually including this palette mainly for the quality, not so much for the shade. It's nothing that special, but the quality is really, really great. And I feel if you're an eyeshadow lover like me, you need to try out Natasha Denona eyeshadow. If you don't want to invest $200 or $300 for their big eyeshadow palette, you can maybe get the small one and just experience the formula. So these are the shades in palette 10. So these two are matte shades, although this light purple one has a little bit of shimmer, but it still comes off as matte on the eyes. And these 3 are shimmery and they are very, very metallic, especially this one. This one is like a pressed glitter sort of a formula. It's very pigmented. It's kind of like the Huda Beauty textured eyeshadows. They are very beautiful and I've recently done a tutorial using this palette. I would link the video down below in the description box. In fact, I would link all the tutorials that I've done using these palettes along with the prices and everything. Now last but not the least is one of my most favorite eyeshadow brands. Yes, you've heard me right. I'm not just talking about one eyeshadow palette, rather I'm talking about a whole brand, and that is Morphe. Now, if you've been following me for quite some time, you know that I love Morphe eyeshadows, and that's why I couldn't just pick one palette to show you, because I feel all of their eyeshadow palettes are just so good, especially for the price. They are so inexpensive, and the number of eyeshadows that you get and their quality and everything is just absolutely perfect. Now, if I had to pick just one eyeshadow palette or my most favorite one from Morphe, it would probably be the Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette, the first collaboration palette that she came up with, which is discontinued. It's no more there. That's why I'm not showing it to you, but still I just wanted to mention. The second one would probably be the Jaclyn Hill palette. This one I believe is still around, and I feel it's in Sephora or Ulta now. Morphe, I'm not really sure, but it's still around. You can get your hands on this palette, and let me just show you how it looks. So this is how the palette looks. It has so many eyeshadows, every color that you can possibly need. Although they don't have a matte eyebrow highlight color, that's like the only downside. Other than that, it has every color that you need. A few pops of color on this corner as well, and the quality as usual is really good. In fact, Jaclyn Hill and Morphe, they were all claiming that this palette has some special formula or anything like that. I'm not really sure about it, but I like the general or the usual Morphe palettes as well. But I know some people don't like Morphe, but it's just my personal opinion. I really like these palettes, and especially for the price, I think they are too good. Now, apart from the two Jaclyn Hill palettes, one other palette which I think is really good is the 35O palette. This is the original one. After this, I think they came out with two separate ones. One is all shimmer and the other one is all matte. I haven't tried them out, but this one I think is really good. So if you're a warm eyeshadow lover, then this is like heaven right here. You can create so many different looks, and the quality again is very good. So these were some of my current most favorite eyeshadow palettes. I know in my palette tag video I mentioned different palettes, but since then a lot of other palettes have come out, and these are my current favorites. I know down the line, maybe after 2-3 years, my favorites would change again, but till now this is it. So if you could buy just one palette out of all this that I've showed you, I would probably recommend the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. But if you can't get your hands on this, or it's just too expensive for you, the other one that I would recommend is one of the Morphe palettes. Just pick any which suits your need, because I feel all of the eyeshadow palettes are equally good. So do let me know in the comments below which is your most favorite eyeshadow palette, and if you've enjoyed watching this video, then please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and share this video with your friends and family so that I can reach more people. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to subscribe as well. And by the way, if you're interested in this dress that I'm wearing, I would put the link down below in the description box. You can check it out from there. So until next time, take care and bye-bye.